हे गाइस वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल। अभी बज रहे हैं 4 सुबह के एंड मैं अभी वीडियो एडिट कर रहा था और मेरे को रियलाइज़ हुआ कि जो हमने शुरू और आखिरी वाला पोर्शन जो पिछले हफ्ते एडिट करा था इस वीडियो के लिए वो हो गया है करप्ट। मेमोरी कार्ड वो चल ही नहीं रहा। तो एनीवेज बेसिकली जो आज वीडियो हम दिखाने वाले हैं उसमें वी हैव एक्चुअली इनवाइटेड अ कपल who actually came after us. So they actually took the last flight to Canada before the lockdown. And हम उनकी स्टोरी जानेंगे because one of them is a software developer and one of them is into a non-technical, non-IT field. तो हमने सोचा कि उनकी हम जर्नी बताते हैं. They both have jobs, so we'll try to understand how they got their jobs, what the struggles are. So guys, I hope you enjoy this video. मैं थोड़ा ऐसा अजीब सा बना हुआ हूँ, but आपको अभी इस फ्रेम के बाद मैं थोड़ा स्मार्ट सा बना हुआ नजर आऊंगा. Anyways, let's go to our laptop. Hi guys, thanks a lot for being on the channel. We thought again हमने last week भी एक interview करा था. We thought we'll do another interview and this time it's very different because you guys actually came even after us and you were probably on the last flight. To here, so we thought that we should know your experience as well, job का experience, सब चीजों का. So first of all, guys, just tell us a little bit about yourself, how where you are from and where you are right now, and then we'll move on to the next part of this. Yeah.
Sure. First of all, thank you both of you for inviting us. We've been there are so many YouTube channels which are available with good content, and I must say you guys really stand out to us because the information that you guys provide is precise, it's to the point, and we really find it helpful. And right from even after we landed, we've been following your channel constantly. And to give a brief about ourselves, well, this is my wife Amiti and my name is Pritish. We come from God's own country, Kerala. My work experience is I'm basically into technical sales, whereas my wife, she is a software developer.
Okay.
So before landing in Canada, we were in Kuwait. I was in Kuwait for 4 years.
Okay.
And we got married in 2017. That's when we got married. And at that time, Amity was working with an MNC in India, okay, and I was working in Kuwait.
All right.
And I was not, I always wanted to, I mean, we always made a decision that we won't do long distance. We wanted to stay together after marriage. And first of all, तो फिर वो सब plan करते करते, so we thought, चलो, one option is definitely she can come to Kuwait. That was one option which is always available. And second option, we also thought, let's think about Canada as well. So that's how the Canada plan came. That's how uska inception वहाँ पे.
So we were like, okay, we weren't too focused on Canada. We were like, okay, let's see where Kuwait takes us.
Let's settle down in Kuwait. That was a plan. So Jan mein she left India in Jan 2019 and she reached Kuwait. Okay. And Kuwait mein I got a house, I furnished it brilliantly and I kept it all saja vaja ke for madam. And when madam reached, she was happy. And then the day she got her residency stamped in Kuwait was the day we received the IT from Canada.
Oh,
that is clear. तब सोचे तभी we were happy, of course.
Yeah, we were happy, and then we had to make a decision as to, we were making the pros and cons list of moving to Canada or staying back in Kuwait. So finally, due to reasons like it's more secure in Canada if you think long term, and in Kuwait, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but there's no life. Like it's you go to work, you come back home, and that's it. There's no entertainment, or it's really hard. It's much more difficult.
It's a very dry life in Kuwait. That's what we felt, and we are one of those couples who love exploring the city, who love eating from places, and like that. So it's not like Kuwait doesn't have those places, but it's very limited, and it becomes थोड़ा monotonous हो जाता है, repetitive, going to the same place. So we thought, ठीक है, Canada का option आ ही गया, तो we'll give it a shot.
How did you guys manage? Because you actually landed the day the announcement happened, I think, of the lockdown, or not the lockdown, but that it's here. So just walk us through your journey of when you landed. What happened then?
Sure. So our flight was supposed to go on the 16th, and on 13th I get a call from the airline saying our flight has been cancelled. And we had two options: either to prepone it to the 15th or to postponed it to the 23rd.
Okay.
Me being the lazy guy, I wanted to do the 23rd option. So, but she said, let's not, risk it. Let's go on the 13th. So that is the best decision that we've taken till now. 13th Sham se we started packing, and 15th ko we left India, and 16th ko we reached here. We had booked an Airbnb in North York. It was a basement, a walk-in basement, completely furnished. So our initial plan was like stay there for 14 days and search around for houses for a long term, because Airbnb is an expensive affair, right? So, so because of the COVID thing, we were staying indoors only. We had carried a lot of food. Being a South Indian, we had all the sambar masalas and the instant idlis and all of that.
So we had a really good owner for our Airbnb. So they were like, "Are you guys okay?" And they actually offered us like, "Please tell us if you want to extend it, because they will do it for us." Considering they also know we were new immigrants, and they said, they are willing to extend it. So we spoke to them and we said we can't afford the Airbnb rates, for like a month long or 2 months
It
long.
becomes very expensive.
And they were very gracious enough to reduce the rates for us, and they gave us for a 1 month extension. We did a 1 month extension that is until the end of April 30.
Let's talk about jobs now. I think most of our audience has been living through our experience, but I think you guys are different. Guys have different backgrounds. So just talk about Pritish. Maybe you can talk about your background first and how you found a job in COVID, and then we can move on to Amiti and what she is doing and how she found a job.
So when we reached in Canada, we were mentally prepared that I wouldn't end up finding a job, because so I come from a technical sales background, and my main experience was in power transmission and distribution in Kuwait. It's a very niche market in Canada, and I knew I wouldn't get a job. Even in the ideal world, it would take me at least about 4 to 5 months. Right. So I was both of us were mentally and financially prepared for that. Amiti, on the other hand, since she comes from an IT background, we were pretty confident that within a month or two, we would hopefully get a job. Right. Now, when we reached here, the online platforms that I used were, I used to use LinkedIn and Indeed, of course. And there was another one, Monster Job. Yeah, there's Monster Canada was another portal which I used. And I frantically used to keep on sending these applications, at least in a day, 20 to 30 applications per day. So we used to have shifts where I sit in for 3 hours and then she'll sit for 3 hours on the laptop, switch and apply. Okay. I never got a single call for at least 3 weeks. I never got a reply. All I got was rejection mails. Okay. And I didn't get any replies during that time. After 3 weeks is when something happened where I got the first call, and it was for a manufacturing company, but they said they did an initial round of interview, but nothing happened after that. And the week after that is when I landed, when I got the first call from the company that I'm working in right now, and it's into manufacturing sector. The role was exactly that I was looking for. Okay. And the first round got over, and second round I was asked to come in for a face-to-face interview with the senior guys. So I went over there, and the very next day they sent me the offer letter. Oh, wow. So I was very lucky. I always, when I discuss my story with some of my friends, and I would also like to share with all of your subscribers who come from a non-IT background. Right. I was really lucky. Don't take me or my story as a benchmark. It's that easy. Because if you're in a non-technical, non-IT background, you always have to be mentally and financially prepared to make sure that you can survive for 4 to 5 months without a job.
And how about you, Amiti?
So yeah, the same as me, but the difference was the moment I uploaded my profile into Monster and LinkedIn, I activated it, I started receiving calls from recruiters immediately. Okay. I got a ton of calls from recruiters, mostly from recruiters. All right. A lot of recruiters were approaching me, and I was like, okay, something will happen soon. But at that time, people were trying to figure out how to do interviews and how to do the interview process during the corona time, because usually they have face to face interviews. Now they had to figure out how to do it. So right. That was the biggest delay was happening. So even though the recruiters were approaching me, the actual interview process was getting delayed. So, like, I had only one interview in like the first month. I had a couple of other interviews, but nothing was actually panning out. It was not going to into the second round. It was not going to third round. It was getting delayed. I have instances of where I applied in March 20th and I got a call from them in May.
Okay.
And also IT interviews. Now the new thing which happened is I have at least minimum of 4 rounds. They'll give you a coding challenge, maybe they'll, so that'll take about 2 weeks. So it was a very lengthy process, and it took me about like mid of May. So that's like almost 2 months.
Okay.
At the end of 2 months, I got two offer letters, and I decided to choose whichever was better for me.
Switching to Pritish again. So you actually travel to your job, right? So unlike most of the people who are working right now, they are working from home. Simran is working from home. So you are traveling. So tell us something about that experience traveling in COVID.
Yes. So since I told you, since I come from a manufacturing, since I work in the manufacturing sector, we actually have to be on the plant, and so everyone reports to office, and we are presently based in downtown, and I have to commute. So my office is in Brampton, so I daily commute from downtown to Brampton. Commuting, I use the Go bus, the Go Transit bus. It's a 7:20 bus which leaves from Union, and it's an hour journey. By 8:30, I'm in my office. Commute wise, inside the bus daily you'll find barely 5 to 6 people. It's completely empty. It's very safe. People do practice social distancing.
Yeah.
So I do take my precautions, wherein I do wear my mask while traveling. That's it. I've never found it unsafe as such.
When he comes back, there's no roaming around, like straight into the bathroom, take a shower.
There is a disinfection that happens. Like minute I just have to. So the doors are open, and the minute I enter the room, the washing machine ka door is open, the bathroom ka door is open. So I just have to put things and enter the bathroom. I don't go anywhere. So just take a shower and then I come.
So as you told कि आप office जाते हो, how are you managing in your workplace, like social distancing in your workplace?
So in our office, the minute we enter the office, everyone is provided a fresh set of gloves and masks. Every corner you'll find sanitizers, so you have to sanitize and enter. Within the workspace, we have like we do maintain social distancing. It is not like there are capsules next to each other. So if there's a person, that we do maintain at least 3 to 5 meters of gap. That's how people are stationed right now. And even during lunch breaks, so we take turns basically, where people entering the cafeteria. So we've split into two groups. So there's a group that takes lunch from 12 to 12:30, and another group comes in, which takes lunch from 12:30 to 1, and there's another group that comes from 1 to 1:30, so that it's not crowded at all. And before you enter the cafeteria, you obviously wash your hands, you remove the gloves, you wash your hands. So precaution has been at the highest level, and we're following good safety over there.
Like when people come here, obviously we guys, you have a lot of experience, we have a lot of experience back in India, you guys in Kuwait, we in Hong Kong. Now I understand from Simran's point of view and even from my point of view that the expectations have to be lowered a little when you come here, from what kind of job you will get into. But what do you think? Considering now that you have jobs, are you happy with those? Do you think they are lower than what they were, in Kuwait or in India? And what is it, that one message that you would want to give to other people?
Okay, so I'll start off and then you can maybe conclude it. So what I would say is, from my experience, if you're into IT, uh, it's it's okay to have some expectations, like what job you had in IT in India or any part of the world, on what level you were. You might end up on a similar level over here in IT, because that experience, it's a global platform, and it's a global experience that takes in that take into consideration. So if you come from the IT sector, I believe it's okay to keep your expectations high. There's nothing wrong in it. For people like us who don't come from the IT sector, always, regardless of whatever position you were in India or any part of the world, your ultimate motive should be you should try your best to get a job in your field itself.
Right.
If that is done, regardless of whatever level you are in, I'm sure you can make your way up.
Right.
But if you end up landing a job in your field, which is even like 80% to something that you used to do, it's a big achievement.
Like for IT, yeah, in generally speaking, yeah, people would say it's easier, but it depends on what field of IT you are also.
Yeah.
Like I'm a developer, so I have a lot more opportunities. My market is not niche, but there are also sectors within IT which are like niche. Or if you have like a really, like if you are in a customer's front role, even in IT, then they might ask for this Canada experience. That becomes relevant in that part.
Right.
So even in IT, there are certain sections which are kind of niche and might be difficult. But since I was a software developer, and I was in a sector where there was like the demand is high, so I got a lot more calls and interviews that way.
Okay.
Due to coronavirus, what has happened, a lot of people lost their jobs, which are unfortunate.
Right.
So the market has become very competitive. So the calls when I got in May were like they were offering like other people are willing to work at much more competitive rates. So that kind of a situation came. So but at the current market scenario, since there are a lot of people out there, they are like there are some job offers which were coming, like we won't be able to pay that much because there are other candidates who are willing to
It's becoming like a bargaining scheme where the people also know
So
where the
it's all
recruitment
demand and
companies are.
supply, right? So there are just too many people right now for a few
Yes.
jobs. But I just want to get a sense from someone who is more settled, because both of you have your jobs, both of you have moved out of your basements and moved into a condo living in downtown. So you have more routine than many new immigrants, including us. So we just wanted to know, what do you think of the life so far, and do you think that you made the right choice? Is it something that you don't like about what you are going through?
We were mentally prepared for the struggle.
Yeah.
We were mentally prepared for not having a job for 4 or 5 months. We were mentally prepared that way. So any difficulty we might have faced, we were not disheartened.
Yes.
Because this is like a long term thing which is going to happen slowly. It's not like you come here and everything is going to happen. If it happens for you, you're lucky, it's well and good.
Yeah.
But it might not happen. So it's about like mentally being prepared for that. So since we are prepared for that, it's okay. Our journey is not bad. We don't have regrets. We don't feel bad about anything. And it's going to get better.
It's always going to get better. So it's all about being strong during that struggle phase. And once you get over that, it's a beautiful place. It is the best place to be.
So guys, ये थी प्रीतिश और अमिति की कहानी. इफ़ यू लाइक दिस वीडियो, प्लीज़ वीडियो को लाइक करके ज़रूर जाना. एंड अगर चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो. पिछली वाला जो हमने इंटरव्यू करा था उसमें आपने इतना ज़्यादा हमें बोला कि आने वाले हफ्तों में भी इंटरव्यूज़ और करो. सो हमने 3-4 इंटरव्यूज़ और लाइन अप करे हैं. प्रॉबेबली एवरी सैटरडे वील एक्चुअली डू 1 इंटरव्यू, ताकि आपको ना फर्स्ट हैंड एक्सपीरियंस मिले जो लोग यहाँ पे आते हैं. बिकॉज इवेंचुअली यहाँ पे आके एक स्ट्रगल अलग तरह की होती है. सो वील एक्चुअली ट्राई टू शो दैट स्ट्रगल एवरी सैटरडे. पॉसिबली कोशिश ये करेंगे. सो गाइज सब्सक्राइब कर लो चैनल को, क्योंकि आगे आने वाली वीडियोज़ में बहुत सारे और ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस हम शेयर करेंगे. सो गाइज मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.